There's something undeniably comforting about a steaming bowl of chicken noodle soup. It's the kind of meal that evokes memories of cozy days at home, the gentle clatter of spoons against bowls, and the soothing aroma of simmering broth filling the kitchen. But in our busy lives, finding the time to slowly simmer a pot of soup on the stove can be a challenge. That's where the Instant Pot comes in, a modern kitchen miracle that transforms hours of slow cooking into minutes without sacrificing any of the flavor, richness, or heartwarming nostalgia that makes chicken noodle soup a perennial favorite. Let's embark on a journey to craft the most comforting Instant Pot chicken noodle soup you'll ever taste. Whether you're feeling under the weather, seeking solace on a chilly evening, or simply craving a nourishing homemade meal, this recipe will soon become a staple in your kitchen. What makes this soup so special isn't just the speed and simplicity of the Instant Pot. It's the careful layering of flavors, the tender shreds of chicken, and the way each ingredient comes together to create a bowl that feels like a warm embrace. To begin, gather your ingredients. You'll need boneless, skinless chicken breasts or thighs. Thighs offer a bit more richness and flavor, but breasts work beautifully as well. Fresh carrots, celery, and onions form the aromatic base of the soup, lending sweetness and depth. Garlic adds a punch of savory complexity, while herbs like thyme, parsley, and bay leaf infuse the broth with earthy warmth. For the noodles, classic egg noodles are a traditional choice, but feel free to use your favorite style. And, of course, a good quality chicken broth or stock will serve as the foundation, carrying all the other flavors to their fullest potential. Before you start cooking, take a moment to dice your vegetables into bite-sized pieces. The carrots and celery should be sliced into small rounds or half moons, while the onion can be chopped finely for a subtle texture that melts into the broth. Mince a couple of cloves of garlic and set everything aside. If you're using fresh herbs, chop them gently to release their fragrant oils. Now, set your Instant Pot to the sauté function. Add a splash of olive oil to the pot, just enough to coat the bottom. Once the oil is shimmering, toss in your onions, carrots, and celery. Sauté the vegetables for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally until they begin to soften and the onions turn translucent. The goal here is to coax out the natural sweetness of the vegetables, building a flavor base that will give the soup its signature depth. Next, add the minced garlic and stir for another minute. Let the aroma bloom, but be careful not to let the garlic brown, as it can turn bitter. Now's the time to add your chicken pieces directly into the pot, nestling them among the vegetables. Sprinkle in a generous pinch of salt and freshly ground black pepper, then toss in your herbs, fresh thyme sprigs, a bay leaf, and a handful of chopped parsley. If you don't have fresh herbs on hand, dried herbs work well too. Use about a teaspoon of dried thyme and half a teaspoon of dried parsley. Pour in your chicken broth or stock, ensuring that the liquid covers the chicken and vegetables. Depending on your Instant Pot size, you'll need about 6 to 8 cups of broth. Give everything a gentle stir, then secure the lid, making sure the valve is set to the sealing position. Now, it's time for the magic of pressure cooking. Set your Instant Pot to high pressure for 10 minutes. While this may seem like a short time, the high-pressure environment infuses the chicken and vegetables with flavor, creating a rich, savory broth that tastes like it's been simmering for hours. Once the cooking time is up, allow the pressure to release naturally for about 10 minutes before carefully turning the valve to release any remaining steam. Carefully open the lid, and you'll be greeted by the mouth-watering aroma of homemade chicken soup. Use tongs to remove the cooked chicken pieces, transferring them to a plate. They'll be incredibly tender, so handle them gently. Using 2 forks, shred the chicken into bite-sized pieces. It should fall apart easily. Discard any bay leaves or thyme stems left in the broth. Before returning the chicken to the pot, it's time to cook the noodles. Set the Instant Pot back to sauté mode and bring the soup to a gentle simmer. Add your egg noodles directly to the broth, stirring occasionally to prevent sticking. Cook according to the package instructions, usually about 6 to 8 minutes, until the noodles are tender but still slightly firm. If you prefer, you can cook the noodles separately and add them to individual bowls just before serving. This helps prevent them from absorbing too much broth and becoming mushy if you plan to have leftovers. Once the noodles are perfectly cooked, return the shredded chicken to the pot, stirring gently to incorporate. Taste the soup and adjust the seasoning with more salt and pepper if needed. For an extra touch of brightness, squeeze in a bit of fresh lemon juice or add a sprinkle of chopped fresh parsley just before serving. The result is a soup that's both restorative and deeply satisfying. Each spoonful offers tender morsels of chicken, sweet and savory vegetables, silky noodles, and a broth that feels like a soothing balm. It's the kind of meal that invites you to slow down, savor the moment, and nourish both body and soul. But chicken noodle soup is more than just a recipe. It's an experience, a tradition passed down through generations, adaptable to every family's tastes and needs. Feel free to customize this recipe to make it your own. Add extra vegetables like peas, corn, or spinach for more color and nutrition. For a richer broth, stir in a splash of cream or a pat of butter at the end. If you like a bit of heat, a dash of hot sauce or a pinch of red pepper flakes will add a gentle kick. Serving the soup is as simple as ladling it into bowls and offering it with a slice of crusty bread or a handful of crackers. It's equally at home as a weeknight dinner, a comforting lunch on a cold day, or a gentle remedy when you're feeling under the weather. And thanks to the Instant Pot, you can have this classic soup on the table in less than an hour with minimal effort and easy cleanup. Leftovers store beautifully in the refrigerator for up to 4 days, and the flavors only deepen as they meld together. If you plan to freeze the soup, it's best to do so without the noodles, as they can become overly soft when thawed. Simply add freshly cooked noodles when reheating for the best texture. The beauty of this Instant Pot chicken noodle soup lies not just in its convenience, but in its ability to evoke comfort and warmth with every bite. It's a reminder that even in the midst of a busy life, there's always time to nourish yourself and your loved ones with something wholesome and homemade. So the next time you crave a taste of comfort, reach for your Instant Pot and these simple ingredients. In under an hour, you'll have a pot of steaming, fragrant chicken noodle soup ready to soothe, comfort, and delight. It's a recipe you'll turn to again and again, a little piece of culinary magic that brings warmth and joy to any day.